Hey out there and welcome. I'm Kate. I'm here with Memphis and we are happy that you have joined us today. This is a quick flow when you are really super short on time, so I won't waste any more of it. Grab a couple of blocks if you want it, find a comfortable spot, roll out your mat, and let's do this. Okay, so we're gonna start standing up. So grab your blocks if you've got them, if you want them, and you're just gonna place them to the outer edges of your mat so they're at hand's reach, so you don't have to go looking for them later. Come to the top of your mat, find a Tadasana, feet underneath you, shoulders stacked over your hips, and take a couple of moments to just kind of wiggle around. Do what you need to do to breathe and start to make your way kind of here. Right? All right, find a gaze point out in front. Feel the energy stretch down through your fingertips as you draw it up through the soles of your feet. And then inhale, reach your arms out, stretch them up, interlace your fingers overhead, flip your palms, and push into the heels of your hands. Feel your low ribs draw down and in. You're gonna push up through the heel of your left hand a little more. Maybe bend your right elbow and take a lean over to that right side. And inhale, come on up through the middle. Same deal, this time the right elbow is gonna straighten up, the left elbow softens, push to the heel of that right hand, find a little length over into that left side. Inhale, come up through the middle. When you exhale, release your hands and bow forward. Uttanasana, and I know it's early in the practice, so you can grab those blocks and let your hands rest on the blocks. As you inhale, halfway lift, lengthen out, give yourself as much room as you need. Exhale and fold. Again, press into those blocks. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, let it go. Just one more. Inhale, stretch your chest forward. Exhale and fold. From here, you're gonna get those blocks out of the way, plant your hands and walk yourself back into a downward facing dog. And then give yourself a second here to kind of wiggle it out. That's it. You're gonna take your right leg, lift it up, sweep it back, find a down dog split, and then bend your knee, stack your hip open. And then make some circles in that hip with that right knee. As big or as small as you want. And then in the other direction. Gonna work it out a little bit here. Yeah. All right, and then stretch that leg out straight. Inhale. When you exhale, step that right foot up between your thumbs and grab the blocks. Keep that back knee lifted for a moment. Sink your hips, stretch your chest forward. And then drop your back knee. Press into that right heel. Inhale, come up, Anjaneyasana. To the sides of your body, lengthen up through your fingertips as you sink the weight of your hips down. And then take your hands back down to those blocks if you want them. Tuck the back toes, lift your back knee, and rock forward and back. Maybe easing back so much that you work to straighten that right leg. One more, rock it forward. And then pull it back. And we're just gonna hold here, scissor your inner thighs. Root through that right foot even as you draw your right hip back. And then soften that right knee and get rid of those blocks. Step it back into plank. And then from plank, lower down, knees to the floor, chest and chin. Launch off those toes. Lift it up, baby cobra. And then release your forehead, tuck your toes, press up through table, stretch your hips back to your heels, come into a child's pose and pop up onto your fingertips. Feel the upper arms lift away from the floor and walk your hands over to the right. Drag that left sitting bone back. Walk your left hand forward a little bit more. Inhale it through the middle, and when you exhale, walk to the other side. Same thing, right sitting bone's gonna draw back, and then spider walk those right fingertips forward just a hair. And then back through the middle. Inhale it up, exhale, downward facing dog. Take your left leg, lift it, sweep it back, and then bend your knees, stack your hip. Give yourself a moment here. And then circles again with that knee. Nice, and then the other direction. Beautiful. Square it off. Down dog split, inhale. Gaze it forward. Step it up between your thumbs. Grab those blocks if you want them. Sink through your hips. Feel your chest reach forward. And then drop your back knee. Root down, rise up. Anjaneyasana. Feel your low belly kind of zip away from your left thigh. As you sink into those hips, take another breath. And then exhale, hands down to the floor. You can find those blocks. Back knee is gonna lift again, and then we work that kind of rocking forward. Drag your hips back. And maybe after one or two, you can start to really push into the floor and work to straighten that left leg. Rock it forward, and when you exhale, rock it back one more time and hold this long Parsvottanasana. Feel that outer left hip scissor back. That's it. Bring your hips forward, coming into your lunge, and you can plunk your blocks out to the side. Step it back, downward facing dog. Inhale, rock forward into plank. When you exhale, you can lower your knees, chest, and chin. If you want to find a chaturanga, a baby cobra, or an upward facing dog. And then pull it back. Downward facing dog. On your exhale, drop your knees to the mat. Hips to your heels. Child's pose. Pop up onto those fingertips again. You're going to walk your hands over to the right. Keep your left hand where it is. Slide your right hand right outside your right thigh there. Nice 90-degree angle with that right elbow. Lift your chest and spin gently to the right. Feel that left side rib cage underneath your armpit there. It's gonna hug in. Our right hand to the left. Come on through the middle, and then come on over to the other side. Glue those right fingertips down. Slide your left hand a little closer into you. Lift your chest and spin, taking that right rib cage underneath and toward your inner left thigh. As you take your gaze up. And then back through the middle. Gonna walk it through and come on up. Downward facing dog. Stretch back. And take your gaze back to your feet. You're gonna walk your hands back to meet your feet, the back of the mat. Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale and fold. Press the floor away. Inhale, come all the way up. Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, you're gonna dive right back over your legs. Uttanasana, fold. Halfway lift. And then let it go. Gaze it forward. You're gonna walk your hands back up to the top of the mat, downward facing dog. All right, right leg's gonna lift. Inhale, sweep it up and back. Bend your knees, stack your hip. We're going in. If you wanna drop it back for a moment, find a little wild thing so you can lift through the hips. You can stay in your flip dog. And we're gonna come back through your down dog split. Inhale. And then we're gonna take this right leg out and around. Just as we were drawing circles with the knee, we're gonna draw circles with the foot. Out and around. And then in the other direction. Out and around. Out and around. One more, big old circle. And then gaze forward. Step your right foot to the outside of your right hand. This high lizard lunge. You can use the blocks here underneath your hands if you want a little more space. It does feel good. And then drop your back knee. Take a moment here. And you can let yourself lower onto the blocks, onto the floor. And then come on back up. Left hand's gonna plant on that block or on the floor. Sweep your right arm around. Go in for the quad stretch. If you wanna just work the twist, you can keep that right arm stretching up. Plant your right hand down. Step it back. Plank this time. Gonna hold that plank. And then exhale, knees, chest, chin. Chaturanga. Baby cobra. Or upward facing dog. Oh, pull it back. Downward facing dog. When you exhale, drop your knees to the mat, hips to your heels. Slide your elbows back toward you. Take your right arm, reach it out. Get a nice big stretch through that right side. And then we're gonna thread the needle in child's pose. So bring your right arm underneath Come toward your right temple. You can walk your left hand straight forward and press firmly through the back edge of your right arm. You got it. Come back through the middle. Slide that right elbow underneath, and then take the left arm, sweep it up. And then curl that puppy under. You got it. Come toward your left temple. Lock your right hand forward. And press down through the back of this left arm. And slide your right arm back underneath you. Here we go. Downward facing dog. Bring it up. Stretch it back. Take your left leg, reach it behind you, bend your knee, stack your hip. You can stay right here or drop back. Find a moment here where you can press into the hips, lift it up. And then down dog split. Left leg's gonna kick up and back. And we're gonna make those big old circles with your foot, right? Whatever direction works for you, come out and around. Out and around. And in the other direction. Let's do it. Yes. One more big old circle. And then square it off. Step it to the outside of that left hand. Grab your blocks if you want them. Find your high lizard lunge first. Feel your chest lift and extend away from your upper arms. Push back through your right heel. And then drop your back knee. And you can lower down or stay right where you are. Yes. That's it. Right hand's gonna plant. You can keep it right on the block if you want. You can take your left hand to your thigh, find the twist, or reach it all the way around and grab for that quad stretch. Keep dragging that right knee in toward your left heel. And then slowly let it go. Step it back, downward facing dog. Take your gaze back to your feet. Gonna walk your hands back to meet them. Uttanasana. So you can have the blocks here if you want them. I probably should have told you to go get them, but you can go get them. Why not? It might be a fun adventure. And then bring them back with you. All right, you're gonna shift your weight under your right foot. Sweep your left leg back for a standing split, right at the back of the mat. Press the floor away. Feel this hip lift off the head of that leg bone. Inhale, gaze forward. When you exhale, you're gonna drag this knee into your nose. Soften your right knee. Take your left hand to that left shin and come all the way up to stand. Just a quick little balance here. Take your right hand to the outside of your left foot or your left knee. And you're gonna kick it forward, reaching that left hand back. Inhale. Now we're gonna keep this left foot floating, but come back through center. And then sweep the left leg back, let it be a pendulum. Dive forward, softening in that right leg as you go, standing split. And then step your left foot next to your right. Take your feet wide for a moment, sink your hips. Find a malasana pose. Fingertips to the mat, I'm gonna lift those hips again. Uttanasana, shift over to this left side. Press the floor away, take the right leg back, standing split. Drag your knee in. Here we go. Take your gaze forward slightly. Grab that shin with your right hand. Come on up. You can grab the outer edge of your knee or your foot. We're gonna kick forward as you reach back. Yes. And then keep those toes lifting. Swing your chest back through center and then pendulum that right leg down. Dive forward, standing split. And then an Uttanasana. And one more malasana, toes wide, heels in. You're gonna drop your butt to the floor. Take your hands behind you. We're just gonna crab walk forward. Bring the soles of your feet together. Inhale, sit nice and tall. And when you exhale, fold forward. Baddha Konasana. Slide your hands underneath you. Come on up. Draw your knees in. From here, just an easy forward fold. Hug your shins. Curl your chin into your chest and breathe. Release your hands. Come on up. Find a comfortable seat. If you have the time to go into a Shadasana and you're super into it, then please, by all means, lay out. You can shut me down and just relax. For those of you who need to move on, take a moment before you do just to pause, to close your eyes. Take a couple breaths. Bring your palms together into Anjali Mudra and bow your head and say a quiet thanks to yourself for carving out this time. Short as it may be, it's still super important and it was still just for you. May you have a lovely day. Thank you for joining me. I look forward to practicing with you again soon. You know the drill. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. I've got a great library going on, so check out some other stuff up there. Make it a wonderful day.